Hello everyone, this is Sam Car Legion. Welcome back to another review. Today we're going to review the 2021 Jaguar XF. What is new for this year? Is it worth over the previous generation? And what does it offer under the hood? And of course, how does it handle on the road? It is actually my first time driving the XF. I've driven the XE, which is the smaller version, but this year we're gonna talk about this specific model. Special thanks for this video goes to our great friends at Budds JLR, a Jaguar Land Rover dealership located in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. They're kind enough to let me borrow this so I can review it for you. If you want to find out more about them, the link will be in the description box. Now, let's start first with the pricing, and let's talk about Canada. So the previous generation, XF, started at $51,000. The new generation has bumped up to $60,000. So you're going to pay more for this new generation. Is it worth more than the previous model? Well, yes and no. We're going to talk about that as well. The next thing you need to know, the exterior changes. This year, we have a more aggressive looking XF, and of course, the headlights have received the double J. Now, that's what Jaguar says, but me as a Canadian, I think they look like hockey stick. Maybe because I watch too much hockey. Anyways, they are, of course, the Jaguar LED technology headlights, which have brighter LED option, I'm assuming. The bonnet, or the hood as we call it in North America, received minor changes too. Now it has more aggressive shape and of course better aerodynamics. The next thing you need to know is, of course, that this has the R dynamic package. So it's sort of like the M package that you get in BMW or the AMG package in Mercedes. It has a more aggressive front end, and of course, because it is an R dynamic, it has a blacked out Jaguar badge on the side, and of course the rear end, the XF letters are blacked out as well, and the P300. This has the P300 engine, which makes more horsepower. So what does it offer under the hood? Jaguar dropped the previous generation, which was a V6 supercharged engine. This year we have a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, and of course you get two options. There is a P250, which receives the 4-cylinder turbocharged engine and makes about 246 horsepower, and it uses a ZF transmission, or the one that we have for today's video, which it is the P300, that makes 296 horsepower. It will do 0 to 60 within 5.8 seconds. The next thing you need to know is that the rear end has received some changes as well. The tail lights, and as I said previously, you have the blacked out P300. This is the all-wheel drive option. The XF letters are blacked out as well. The badge in here, and of course you have this lip on top of the trunk to give it an aggressive feeling and look from the back. The next thing I notice is the actual diffuser. Now you don't see the tailpipes in the back. They're actually hidden underneath, but you get a more aggressive, too aggressive in my opinion, for this trim. And then as you can see, there is a shark fin style onto the diffuser. What are they trying to do with this? I'm assuming the reason they hid the exhaust pipes is maybe, just maybe, they'll offer an electric option in the future. I know in Europe, you guys also get a Sportback version and a hybrid option as well. Unfortunately, it's not available in Canada or in North America for that matter. The trunk in here is, of course, powered. You got to make sure you have your make sure you have your key fob with you. The trunk is pretty decent. It has a lot of space, and of course it is powered. If you have the key fob, you can open it through the key fob or just press the button over here and it closes automatically. Of course, with the R Dynamic, you get the side skirts and specific wheels for the R Dynamic as well. One thing I noticed with the previous generation is that the size between the wheel here to the back, it's actually shorter this time compared to the previous generation. Now, what are my thoughts in terms of the design of this vehicle and how does it compare to its competitors? So let's say BMW 5 Series or Mercedes E-Class. It has an aggressive look, but yet elegant at the same time. So it's not fully performance style, I would say, maybe a bit of an elegance in between there, but I see what they're trying to do with the blacked out badges, letters, and of course the front end as well with the R dynamic. So they're not necessarily getting you all the way to the R option, but sort of like a spice it up instead of having just a standard XF. The new headlights, in my opinion, really do a great job to bring out that elegance and some sort of aggressiveness of the design. But other than that, doesn't look extremely different compared to the older generation. So let's talk about the next thing that it's actually the most important part about this new platform, the interior, specifically the front area. First of all, the steering wheel, very similar to the Jaguar I Pace. It has that thick side profile as well. I love it. It's grippy. You have this aluminum finish paddle shifters onto the side, which are attached to the steering wheel, and of course the R badge at the bottom. It doesn't have a flat bottom with this package, but again, nice and thick. That's what I like about it. I love when steering wheels offer that kind of comfort, because when you want to have some fun, you want to have a bit of a grip onto the steering wheel. The next thing you need to know is, of course, the center console and the new infotainment screen, 11.4-inch curved display touchscreen. The center area here, we got a new shift knob, wireless charging pad located right in front of it. You get some extra features in here, the beautiful aluminum finish, not too chrome, but more aluminum look. I like that. I don't like chrome in general. This is just perfect. And then the climate unit is right into this area. You have the option pull and push for both sides. It has ventilated seats in the front and heated seats with this package. And most importantly, one of my favorite things is this mirror onto here that turns into a standard mirror or into a full LCD, which displays the rear end. It has a shark fin at the top that points directly to the back. It's extremely clear. Let's talk about the infotainment screen, because this is technically the most important thing about this car at this point. It is touchscreen, of course, very intuitive. I actually didn't even touch the screen at all. These are the front menu, and you can change here. And you have 9 shortcuts that you keep adding to it. And most importantly, it comes with a 360 camera. You can change the position. Very smart, sharp. I love it. It's clear. You want to have, the most important thing about this is a full 360 camera. It also has a 3D option as well, so you can see the vehicle around it. Let me see if it can actually pick the tripod outside. Let me see. Yeah, it's sort of like distorted here, but it's not fully. Oh yeah, you can see it's actually the tripod is bigger than the car. Anyways, let me go back into the menu. Let me show you some of those. Here we go. These are the shortcuts in the front. Main menu. You can create accounts. You have for the seats, heated seats, ventilated seats. You can turn them off, turn them on. And then you have the climate unit in here. Very easy, nice access to that. And then the dynamic mode, of course, you can change the dynamic mode for the engine, steering, suspension, and of course the gear shift. You have a stopwatch, lap times if you ever want to take this to a track, and then you have a G meter as well, which shows you the throttle reaction, brake, and G-force and so on. I'm going to turn this on once we go for a drive so you can see a little bit more in action. And then the menu in here, this is the main menu. Have low traction launch, which they use it in other vehicles as well, and the all surface information. So in here it shows you where the power is going. So mostly it is a rear wheel biased, so most of the power is actually going to the rear wheels. And then you have the GDC info. To change the driving modes, you press this button into the center, and then it's a scroll button, and then you just shift into different driving modes: dynamic, comfort, eco, and ADSR, which basically automatically detects the terrain that you're driving in, so that way it gives you the perfect acceleration and of course for the gears and traction. Okay, I've covered everything you need to know about this. It's time to take it for a test drive and see how it handles on the road. So let's go for a drive. Okay, let's go for a drive.
Thank you.
First of all, let's put it into comfort mode. It's spacious inside. As a sedan, it's actually very spacious. We're 2 people inside, and the center console is pretty big and gives a lot of space in between 2 people. It's very comfortable. It feels luxurious inside a Jag, and also it's very quiet. I noticed that. The audio system in here uses the Meridian 14 speakers all around, so you get good, nice audio system, premium of course. It feels and it looks different, of course, with the new infotainment system. Very intuitive. Even when you're driving, it's easy to quickly use. It's quite a different vehicle when you get into a Jaguar. You get from a BMW to an Audi, it feels sort of like the same in a way. In here, it has its own signature design, and that's what I like about this thing. Now we're gonna enter the highway. So I'm gonna put the transmission to sport, see how the ZF transmission does, and then into dynamic mode, of course. Thank you for giving this space. Okay. I don't understand why they didn't offer a more powerful engine option for this, because $295 for the P300, I don't think it's enough. I think this car needs more power, especially because it's a big vehicle, it's a big sedan. It might look a bit small on the outside, but it's actually a big vehicle for its class. It has power, but it's not the most exciting thing out there. I think they could have done better in terms of horsepower. The transmission can take more than this. It's unfortunate they don't offer more options in terms of the engine. The small one, if you're gonna pick the small one, I'm just warning you, I don't think it's gonna excite you a lot. This is slightly better. There's not much excitement into this vehicle. I actually like the F Pace more than this. The F Pace had better performance. It felt faster. This, on the other hand, it's like you push it, come on, get there, and it just doesn't want to go. I don't know. I must say, I don't feel very excited about the power delivery in this vehicle. It's comfortable. It's luxurious inside. It's quiet as well, and we're in the middle of traffic. The brakes are fantastic too. I mean, it doesn't have 6 pistons in the front because it doesn't make 400 horsepower. You don't need better brakes than that. I love the design on the exterior. It looks sporty. It looks good in my opinion. It feels like a Jaguar. It drives like a Jaguar. But the power, it's one thing that kind of disappoints me in this vehicle. It could do better. It can take better. I mean, even if they could offer some sort of engine that could make 350 horsepower, it will definitely be a better choice. With this, I don't feel as excited. Like, push it, come on, get there. Yeah, there's just not much excitement in terms of power delivery. But overall, it performs well. It drives well as a day-to-day vehicle, but nothing that can blow you away completely, in my opinion. It's nothing to that level. Let's compare it, let's say, to the Acura TLX or the Audi A4. In the Audi A4, you feel the A5 actually would be the perfect comparison to this. The A5 feels much better and faster. This lacks the power. That's one thing I noticed. That's the only thing that I'm disappointed about this vehicle, because everything else just perfect. The infotainment system, it's perfect. It's comfortable inside. It has beautiful leather interior. It feels luxurious. You have great options. I mean, it has 3 memory seats for both sides, driver and passenger. The leg extension is fantastic too. Everything else is just almost perfect in this vehicle, except the power. I think it could do better and it can perform better. That's the only thing that sort of disappoints me with this vehicle. But other than that, it's just perfect in every other way. I think that's it for today. There's not much to talk about this because this vehicle, it's not fully redesigned in my opinion. I mean, you can actually see that it does have some changes here and there. Unfortunately, the sedan market is slowly dying. Not many people are buying them, and it's sad because there are so many great options out there, but people are looking for more space, bigger vehicles, especially in North America. Europe is going to get there. Not yet, but it will get there eventually. Unfortunately, North America doesn't like sedans anymore, and that is very disappointing. But the market, it decides. Unfortunately, you can't change that. Because some people are like thinking, why would I spend $60,000 in a sedan where I can go all the way to the F Pace and get more space, bigger vehicle, and of course, better comfort for a big family? That's just the way they see, that's how customers see the market right now. It's just not worth buying a sedan because they're so expensive and you don't get space. And in this case, you don't even get power. Other than that, that was it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. And special thanks goes to our good friends at Budds JLR and Mark specifically for allowing me to borrow this and review it for you. I hope I answered some of your questions. And then in mind, stay safe. Cheers.